Yo, what's up, everybody? Coming up, I talk about my experience going down to the Go Media Stadium on Friday to watch the Manly Seagulls versus the New Zealand Warriors. Shout outs to Brenda and Greg for allowing me to tag along with you and your family. You guys are proud Warriors supporters, and thanks for allowing a Manly Seagulls supporter to join you guys to rub it in my face after the game because the Manly Seagulls got fafali. So yeah, man, I talk about my experience at the game, and yeah, man, good times. Also on the show, I talk to the boys from the Empty Out the Clip. They come along, Eddie and Leti. We review the movie Tina that's out in theaters right now. It's been out for a couple of weeks. Shout outs to Ifra and Heather, one of the producers of the movie. You guys are doing good. Awesome, man. You guys doing awesome. You guys made $2 million in the box office right now in New Zealand. So congratulations to you and your team. Miki and Mario and those guys. Everyone that's involved in the movie. You guys doing an awesome job. Let's take it to the world. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the show. Let's roll the intro. Let's go. So it's Friday, the 14th of March, and I head down to Go Media Stadium to watch my beloved Manly Seagulls get fussied by the New Zealand Warriors. And shout outs to my cuz Brenda and her husband Greg for allowing me to come with you guys to the game and share that moment. I'm sure you guys were sort of confident that the New Zealand Warriors will do a complete turnaround from round one and whip a team that was the opposite to the New Zealand Warriors in round one. I mean, shucks, the Manly Seagulls wasted the Cowboys in round one and put on like a scintillating performance that probably every punter that are NRL's fans would have put money on the Manly Seagulls to win at Go Media Stadium. Everyone but Warriors fans, I guess. But nah, man, it was it was an ambush. It was an ambush at Go Media Stadium for the Manly Seagulls fans that showed up. I saw a few of them in the stadium showing up to probably, just like me, thought that it was a done deal after last week's performance. But hey, don't forget, the Vegas performance for the Warriors wasn't that flash too. So on those, and it was like, how could Andrew Webster turn around the Warriors in a week and a bit? They had a longer time in between games, the New Zealand Warriors and all those teams that went up to Las Vegas anyway. But yeah, the first 2 minutes of the game, Manly Seagulls get it out wide to Saab. He sprints along the edge, along the wing, passes infield to Turbo to score the first try of the game. And that was like 2.5 minutes into the game, and I was thinking, there it is. Manly Seagulls just picking up where they left off against the Cowboys. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be the game. And I'm sure the Warriors fans at that moment were thinking the same thing. We're like, oh no, we're gonna get smoked. And then that was about it, because the next few plays, the Warriors had the ball. I don't know if it was pressure or what, but the Manly Seagulls looked like it wasn't really their defense. It was their discipline, and there were a lot of infringements in the ruck that led to 6 agains. So every time the Warriors had the ball, I felt like they had like 3 6 agains for every set, and that sort of like allowed the Warriors to hammer up on the Manly Seagulls line and eventually score tries, So, and that was, I think, was the story. And like what seemed to be like a blowout game with that first turbo try, it turned out otherwise. And I guess the next 2 tries by the Warriors sort of made the game look like, okay, this is not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a tough battle that I was still sure that the Manly Seagulls will overcome. But it wasn't to be. So halftime comes around, and this was, for me, the best part of the night, was a halftime show. not exactly a halftime show, but a tribute to Tohu Harris, who retired this year due to an injury, season-ending injury. That was It was kind of sad because that guy had some games left in him and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So the lights went out. Everyone had their phones turned on, and you can see all the lights of everyone's phones. And then, in between the spandrels, they had the lights on there. In between the spandrels and the stands, they had the lights come across around the stands. So yeah, it was cool. And then the music started playing. The TV screens had the words of the song. I think it was "Sweet Deposition" by Temper Trap. That song came out, and it was still dark. It was still cool. You could read the words and sing along to the song. But when the song climaxed to the chorus, that's when there was a big explosion of fireworks going off, and that was really awesome to see, man. That was so cool to see the fireworks booming away, And then when I sort of looked at the field, and it was pitch black, but I could see some figures walking towards the field. And then I sort of thought, okay, I think that's Tohu Harris coming on the field with his family. And sure enough, they shone a spotlight on those figures, and it was them. It was Tohu Harris's missus and the kids. And they were just, at that moment, I saw the crowd just stand up, start clapping. The crowd was cheering and stuff. It was so cool to see. And then, they were looking towards the screen, and they were playing the highlights of Tohu Harris's career, stuff like that. And the Sweet Deposition song was just getting faster and faster and faster. That's the kind of song, that song, when you're cycling, that's a song you should have in your ears when you're cycling, because it hypes you up, that song. That's like the beat, how it gets faster and faster and faster. And that's what happened. Like, the fireworks, like I spoke of, were going to the music, and that was pretty cool. That was awesome. It was awesome. That's the kind of halftime show you never see at Eden Park, That's the kind of halftime show you don't see in rugby, and it's awesome to come down to Go Media Stadium and witness all that. They do other stuff, like AFC plays there too, and there's a lot of stuff there too. So, good fan engagement. NRL really know how to do fan engagement. NZI need to learn something of them. But now, I thought that the scoreboard, I remember seeing the scoreboard. I forgot what the score was at halftime, but I remember thinking that, okay, it's not a blowout. Manly Seagulls can come back, and they didn't really sort of come back. They scored 2 tries, which were suspect under the under the bunker. So Saab scored his try in the corner. He did a dive, but in slow motion, when you looked on the TV screen, it looked like his hand. The ball left his hand when he touched down. So there was sort of controversy there. I remember all the crowd just booing and ahhing and like that. And the crowd at Go Media Stadium, and the Warriors fans, they're real animated there. So, after that shit happened with Saab and the try was allowed, man, everyone behind me like screaming at the ref, like boozing the ref and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that was interesting to see. Manly Seagulls run a defense, and it just seemed like the infringements were just stacking up every time. It just seemed like every time Warriors had the ball, they were guaranteed another set with another 6 again. And then there was another try that Manly scored was suspect too, with the ball getting kicked forward, and Ruben Garrick, the ball was about to go out of bounds behind the try line. Ruben Garrick skips his foot on the line at the back, or just looked like it was on the line, tips the ball back to DCE. DCE grabs the ball and touches down for the try, and it gets awarded. But that was another controversial try that the bunker sort of said, yeah, it was okay. When all the crowd were like booing again, and the crowd was real animated with that try too. And then the injuries to Turbo and DCE happened. And that was when you thought, yeah, it's all over. It was probably all over at that time too. So, yeah, the Warriors score again, another try at the end there. I think it's Luke Metcalf scores that last try, I think. And RTS, Roger, he scores a try as well. So it was game over, Red River for Manly Seagulls, and yeah, good win for the Warriors. Good win for the Warriors fans. They deserved that. I wonder if any of the Warriors fans that went to Las Vegas were at the game, because that will be a well-deserved win for them too, having to go over and witness the loss against the Canberra Raiders. But yeah, man, it was not a good night for the Manly Seagulls, not a good night for me. I had to walk out the stadium with my jersey on, with my head down. But my cousin and her family and the kids, were happy. so I guess that's sport. But yeah, that was my Friday at my experience in the game. And I'm back with the boys from the Empty Out the Clip podcast, the EOTC. We got Leti over here in the house, and Eddie. What's up, my usos?
What's good, man?
Man, I'm having a bad weekend, man, of sport, man. Two of my teams just went down. Man, Seagulls yesterday, and now the Blues, singing the Blues. I don't think the Blues are going to make it this year. I think the Blues are going to... I hope they make the top 6 at least, but I don't think they're going to win the championship, man.
The Blues are just giving me the blues.
So hopefully my Maltese come in this week, so I get something to be smiling about. But but no, man, thanks guys for joining me on the podcast. We're going to talk about Tina. Man, this is a long time coming because, man, I saw it like last week. Eddie, you saw it earlier on this week, eh?
Yeah.
And Leti, you saw it a couple of weeks ago, huh?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of time to digest and think about it, and maybe see some reviews on other platforms and just take it in. But man, they've been doing good, man. The movie, I think it hit over 2 million now. 2 million in the box office, in the New Zealand box office. So yeah, that's a good effort, and that just shows you like how much people, are keen to go to the movie still if there's something good on. And if you think about 2 million, and you think about there's like mostly Pacific Islanders going to watch this film, taking their whole families and that, because when I went to the movies last week, that's what I noticed. Like whole families are going, and yeah, it was pretty. There was still a lot of people at the movie theater when I went, and there was like a week, 2 weeks into it, or a week into it.
Yeah, the cinema I went to was like, it was half full. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nah, man, you might as well just say that I hired out the cinema for me and my 5 mates, man, because the rows were empty. And there was a big screen down in West City,
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, because they had all the screenings from about 5 o'clock for every hour, so I think the majority of the cinemas were for to cater to everyone coming in on the hour, because, we got in, I think we got to 7:30, didn't start watching till like 10 to 8. We were out there just after 10. Nah, but our cinema was empty.
Yeah, it's good stuff for Miki Magasiva and the team, and shout outs to them and their family, man. Just doing the work for Pacifica in the movie industry, in the film industry and entertainment industry. Like he's got his brother Robbie doing it in the acting, and R.I.P. to the other brother Boer, that passed away a few years ago. Star of Solon Street and on the radio. But yeah, man, this is a talented family when it comes to this kind of thing, man. So it's good to see that they've made this movie and it's out there and it's doing well in terms of ticket sales and that. And I believe it's in Hawaii now, so it's in the Hawaii Film Festival.
Oh wow!
Got released in the movies 27th of February, and I don't know if it's in Australia yet. I haven't heard our mates over there in Aussie, the family of mates over there talking about it. I don't know if it's reached there or it was just beginning to show over there now in Australia, but yeah, man, I think by the time it gets there, Australia, a lot of Pacific Islanders over there, and especially in America too, like see where it goes. So this movie was made for 2.5 million, I believe. 2.5 million. A lot of it came from funding. A lot of it came from New Zealand Air funding. Making 2 million already just in New Zealand, feels like it's gonna hit.
Don't make profit.
Hit and make profit, Like so, yeah, man. But man, I'll tell you the truth, guys. When I was coming into this movie, I wasn't even thinking much, like, because I've had bad experiences with Pacifica movies in the past. Like, they haven't really hit, like, in terms of falling short with storytelling of real stories about people. Like, there's always gonna be that little element of balangification, if you know what I mean. Like there's gonna be something that's gonna push another narrative. They sneak it in there. and it's all about like, you know, it's all because of the funding and who funds it and all that kind of stuff. But so you know, I've come into it thinking, okay, this is going to be another one of those ones, and just hearing everybody talk about it, people saying it's so emotional, crying, and you know, the hype is real, the hype is there, you know, and you hear it, and everybody's seen it, and you just okay, I think I'm gonna go watch. So, but before I get into my experience, I'll start with you. What was your initial thoughts of this film?
Well, I rated it. I rated it at 8.5 out of 10. That was after, but mind you, that's on the back of hearing just like people's take on it, like on the podcast. Those who got the premiere tickets, I think I listened to Nate Noah's take on it, and then not long after that, next to that, Nate had Bueller on, and then he pretty much shared like his experience of him being casted to play the role that he got chosen to do. So I guess when you hear him and his vision of like all the stuff that he's done up to date, and just him emphasizing like his own personal he compared it to like, okay, this is the hardest job that he's ever acted in because he knew the storyline's gonna relate to Pacifica people. You know what I mean? So for him as an actor and where he is and where he's gone, like to hear that from someone, or clearly then the story must be good if it's gonna be told. But nah, I believe the man, like, cause you know, I believe in the work that he's done, and for him to say it the way it was, and even him saying the connection, if you know the music, because you don't even have to be Pacifica to know it, but if you hear the music and then you follow the storyline, and just like how most Palangi stories, like most films you watch, there's always that feature song, and it's the feature song that captures you, and if it's played every now and then, it's obviously going to draw you in, and it's either going to make you think about the first time you heard it in the movie, and then it's going to obviously move you along, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, just hearing them all, bro, like, hearing that at one of the bros' funerals, it's just one of those songs. It's like shit, you know, and it made it real. And it was because of like, you know, obviously it was to do with the Christchurch earthquake and that, and then just hearing the song even before it happening, and then hearing it throughout the movie, yeah, bro, that pretty much made it as real as like far. But I mean, for them to just bypass it and just get straight into the teaching, like we didn't see a funeral, right? But if you're Pacifica and you're someone and you hear the song, bro, she's grieving, you know what I mean? So that's why I was like, bro, that's put together really well, you know what I mean? So, nah, I give props to Miki for being able to do that, because I thought we were going to watch a funeral unfold, you know what I mean? But they managed to just phase that out and get straight into like, okay, her life after losing her daughter. So now, bro, I really can just give them props for putting that story together, man. It was pretty good to watch, you know? That's my takes for now, but yeah, we can dive into the rest of the the questions and yeah, open up a bit more about it.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of movie that you have to like take time to digest it, like we said. But for you, Eddie, do you remember your initial reaction when you left the theater?
Oh, I felt super depressed, eh?
Yeah.
Man, it had some emotions that I've tried so hard to like bury a bit, eh? Especially when it came to the uso of Beulah, the suicide attempt. Like that hit pretty hard. But yeah, I was a mixed emotions. Like me myself, man, I felt depressed as hell. But like at the same time, there was that sense of you're proud, eh? You're proud to see brown faces in those like good spaces, kind of like you know, in theater and film. And when the songs were playing, like Leti was saying, man, my mom got emotional, but she was singing along with a lot of the songs, eh? Especially near the end. So it's kind of like yeah, it puts you through that emotional roller coaster. I think that's what pulls people in. It's like it just sucks you in, and you're just in for the ride. Like you can't really disengage from it. Like the movie's quite engaging. They didn't go overboard with the Fa Samoa. They kind of like treated the audience as like another Palangi student. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're just along with the ride, learning as they're learning. And my critique or pushback with a lot of island films is there's too much humor. When they try to be serious.
Yeah.
There'll be serious situations in some movies, and they just kind of like cover up that humor or dark humor joke. This movie kind of eased off the humor a bit and just kind of hit hard with those emotions, and it worked. It really, really engaged me a lot. So, man, if you had asked me to rate it like on that night, I would have gone 10 out of 10. I don't know. As this video goes on, as we're recording, I'll decide what my rating is at the end of it. But yo, nah, it's a good film. Yeah, Seki.
For me anyway, my initial reaction when I walked out, I didn't expect to feel the stuff I felt in the movie because it was really nostalgic. It was really sad too, and I felt emotional. I felt like shedding a tear, especially at the end, and that's a good sign of a good movie, like how it makes you feel like that, And I think the things that hit for me were nostalgic parts, like the songs, the church songs. Just remind me of church back then, and some of the songs, were songs we actually sang at church. So, yeah, and those are the things that brought back some good memories from my church days. Yeah, I don't think any other Pacific Islander movie has done that in a way.
Nah, no way. Not with the use of the amount of business that you hear.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, even when you guys say, what do you think of the film? Doing empty at the clip, and I said, bro, if you grew up listening to the Teachers College business that we all sung, it was like, Charlie, you're going to relate to it straight away. Because, like, I just had the kid and my wife, and they go and watch it. And I knew, like, then I got to connect because they didn't grow up listening to those business, you know what I mean? And so they obviously had a different take to what me and my younger girls have, because they've grown up in the TMO unit knowing all those songs. So I obviously thought, walking to the car, we all felt like how you felt, Eddie. Like, no one was like cracking a conversation until we got inside the car. And they're like, man, like that reaction's like got off high.
No one wants to eat. Eating my pingakis. You're right. Yeah.
We went from, I woke up for dinner after this to like, now I just want to go home. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I just want to go home. What about ice cream? Well, yeah, maybe ice cream did.
Yeah, maybe ice cream.
It didn't make him move like that, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, that was heavy.
Yeah. I also like what you said about there's hardly any comedy. There's more of a serious movie, and But if you look at the past history of the sort of films, even the films that Anna has acted in and Beulah, like those short movies. There's a few short movies that they've acted in real serious sort of content. There's serious themes going on. But it did have some humor, It did have a little bit of humor in it. So I guess it's you can't get away from humor. You gotta add the humor. Yeah, man. But so talk about the favorite scene. So what sort of scene stood out for you, Eddie? Like, what was the main one that sort of...
Man, I don't know. There was many scenes in there that kind of stood out for me. But there was one scene that hit the hardest didn't hit hardest, but kind of stood out for me. It was when she was getting her ofu for church. And then when she opened the box and the first thing you see is the ekonga. Man, that's how it is, man. I remember when my dad passed away and we're going through, sorting out his stuff, man. Man, I opened up one of his suitcases and bro, it's like 3 ekonga in there, and underneath was all these Blues and Warriors jerseys. So that kind of hit hard, man. Like when you lose someone, and you're going through their stuff, it's like, man, like all the memories they had with the sea, when you're going through it. So it's like, it kind of hit a bit. So it was a small scene. It was a very small scene. And it was quite powerful. It's like, a mother going through grief. And they put the camera on a certain angle when she walked past, and you could see that there used to be a crucifix on the wall, and it just had the outline of the cross. For me, that's powerful, Like when you go for grief, that's when you question your faith, and like all islanders go through it. Doesn't matter, what church you're in. When you're facing where you lost a loved one, it doesn't matter how you lose them. You always question your faith. You're like, why God, you know, blah blah, and that symbol there just spoke volumes, eh? It's such a small scene, but like the meaning behind it for me was quite potent, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah, that stuck with me throughout the whole film. Um yeah, so just that scene of her going through the stuff, getting her awful ready, walking past that you know, the cross that used to be on the wall, the crucifix. Yeah, that was probably my most powerful scene from the movie.
Oh, bro, there's a few, eh? But one that stood out for me was like when she said, "Don't call me that." When Bruno says Tina, and he said, "Don't call me that." And it's when you realize like the connection later throughout the film, how powerful, like, you know, because like, to be honest, like, bro, our moms would say heavy stuff like that. You know what I mean? When they don't want to be told, like, they might know they're, hey, yeah, Beulah's right. Like, get over it. Like, you know, it's time to start, you know, putting your shit together, getting your shit together. But like, for her to say that, like, in the tone that she said it to him, I was like, but that's as real as it gets, man. You know? But I thought that was a heavy scene. And then, even though you watch what unfolded throughout the rest of the movie, and then in his hour of need, she showed up. You know what I mean? It's like, those are just words, you know, because the actions speak louder than, you know, her actions towards him. I thought that was a heavy scene, bro. Because yeah, it made me miss my mum quite out. And then just her visualizing the hair clip on the bus, you know, she saw the Kenyan sitting there with the hair clip on the bus, and then how powerful that piece was gonna be throughout the film as well. Like just the way they were getting her catching the bus when she was going for an interview, and she just gazed past, you know, the person that where her daughter would have sat, and like just giving the visuals. And then again, they would play the song, you know, that's what you're hearing throughout the film. And then you can't help but think, man, she was just on the phone with her daughter, and she didn't have to be at work. You know what I mean? So for them to play that, I thought, fuck, that's powerful, bro. Like just the way that it takes you back to the moment where they're practicing, and then she's calling the air over her face, because that's what they're playing again over the top of it, man. So I was like, fuck, that's a well thought out connection of music and just those specific moments throughout the film. But those are the two that stuck out for me, but that I can't remember so far. Yeah.
The key one that stuck out for me was when she took the choir to the church to sing at the church, and it was that moment before they were going to go on stage, and the girl Sophia, she was crying, and they were trying to calm her down. Like, all right, we're gonna jump on, and all the other kids were gonna go, oh, because we're all wearing whites, if I gungans, and they were gonna go sing in the church. But man, that just reminded me of White Sunday, like before you have to go on stage or before you have to go in front of all the parents and do say your peppers and that, like, because every time, man, I always hate it, eh? Like I'm always like anxiety kicks in, and wow, you know, like you don't wanna fuck up, eh? Because you weren't getting KFC after church, but man, I just all that anxiety. Remember, all that anxiety coming back to me, like when I stuff up my lines, or you know, or something bad. Like it's embarrassing. There, as a kid, like you know, like primary school kid, intermediate, doing White Sunday, man. For me, it's always like I always mark that October date on the calendar, and man, that's I'm gonna be traumatized.
For it.
So that brought back some trauma, from my past day. It sounds stupid, but no, it's like that's the worst of it. Nah. Oh man, I sent chill down my spine when when that part came on. But I think that's what this movie does, eh? When I said the nostalgic part of this film, like for us Pacificans, there's a thing in there, whether it's a family member or church or how we grew up or how we get spoke to, how we get told off as kids, like. You know, there's something in there for us, like we all experience the same sort of thing, and we can relate to it. And with me, seeing Pacific Island movies on the screen, Pacifica movies, because when I think of the word Pacifica, it means the Pacific people that live overseas, like New Zealand, Australia, and the United States.
Yeah.
And we have a different story, right? We have different stories, we have different experiences. And so what I want to see is movies to tell our stories, our experiences to the full effect. That's probably my criticism for this film, because I think it falls short a little bit. It hits with all the nostalgic parts. It hits with all the emotions, with all the, with all the experiences that we just talked about. But I think story-wise, there's things in this movie that sort of is a cop-out with giving the story of our people 100% thing. For instance, with Maritza Percival. So, and it's good that you talked about the missing crucifix on the wall, because she's just lost her daughter, and it's been a year, and she's going through suffering and grief. She's lost her faith, and now she's got cancer. But the thing is, we don't know that yet, right? And this is what I mean. Like, here's a question: is this a choir movie, or is this a Pacific Island film? Right? Yeah. I can explain more, but I just want to get you guys' reaction to that question. How you felt? Is this a Pacific Island film, or is this a choir film?
Wow, it's a choir film. It just, I think the way Miki put it out was that they was going to use that because of the message that he's obviously chosen to put together in the end. And over the duration of the film, you just see the group that they start off with to the group that they have in the end. Yeah, but I sort of hear where you come from with the way they've sort of given her character, like, going from grieving to actually dying. Like, I thought, yeah, that's a bit, But yeah, I thought it was a choir film, because it was probably based because it is based on the Westlake choirs that unfolded a couple of years ago.
My honest opinion would be it's a choir film with a heavy splash of Pacifica in it, because I'm thinking about it. It's like the main character was a Pacific Islander, but the immediate group surrounding her were like a bunch of white kids. Beulah, the daughter, the co-worker, that coach that came in for 10 seconds. Were those the only Polynesian people that were with her? So I'd say it's a choir film. Yeah. But yeah, it's been flowered with Polynesian effects. So yeah, I'll say it's a choir film, a good choir film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the cast is it's more white than Polynesian, but yeah, the main character is definitely Polynesian, but yeah, it's mostly white kids that are learning off her. So yeah, I'd say damn, it is a choir film. I wanted to get opposite, but yeah, it is a choir film.
Yeah, I think for me anyway, like how it's written to set up this character, now she's got cancer and she's gonna die, right? So if you think about how she feels, like first she loses her daughter, she's grieving, she loses her faith, she doesn't want to work, but she's happy to get the benefit because she knows she's gonna die. And remember, she knows she's gonna die. She gets this job at the school. She has this little sort of remembrance of her daughter with this girl, Sophie, and trains the choir. But because she's gonna die, what's her intention? Well, I mean, what's her incentive here? Is to go out just doing her last teaching to a choir, because at this point it probably doesn't matter who she teaches. It doesn't matter if it's a white school. It doesn't matter if it's a brown school. It doesn't matter if it's a church choir. She's just doing her thing because that she knows that's her last thing she's gonna do in this world. So as a character, like, what goes through your mind knowing that you're about to leave this earth and this is going to be the last thing you're ever going to do? So then, to me, when it comes to a real story about Pacifica, it sort of goes out the window because that's not the incentive anymore. And it's interesting because some of the other characters, like her friend, she comes in and she doesn't agree with her teaching these white kids, right? She's probably saying stuff that everybody else in our audience are sort of thinking too. Like, you need a character to talk about stuff that goes against what this film is going to be at the end about, like the moral of the thing is about. So in a way, I think it's more of a choir story, but with a Pacific Island sort of flavor, just because the main character is a Pacific Islander, right? But what's for me, what do the Palingis learn when they watch this film? I mean, they relate to the sadness, they relate to the connections between the teacher and students, they relate to the songs. It's like a classical thing, right? It's like singing in choir is a big deal, right? There's choirs in England. There's choirs all over the world. Like choirs are not even new to us. You know, choirs are what we do. It's one of our things that we do. Like growing up at church and all that kind of stuff. In Samoa, in the islands, there's a choir in every church. It's what we do. It's not like it's a new thing to us. So maybe that's what this film's about, like showing that that this is some of our culture coming through in film. But because of this character, what she's going through and her situation, that's a good cop out into, you know, just telling a story on this woman's last days on Earth and what she wants to do. Because, you know, the only reason why she sort of gives herself to this girl, Sophie, is because she reminds her of her daughter, right? And that's why she gives her the hair thing at the end. So, yeah, so for me, it's a quiet film.
Yeah.
For me, it's a quiet film.
I didn't want it to be. Bastards.
No, I knew it was always about the choir because, Mickey even says it. He said it's just a Pacifica. It's a Pacifica take from a teacher who's just lost her daughter, and so what you're gonna see is like the skills and the culture of being a Samoan and teaching the choir. But then the rest of it you'll see towards the end of the story. So no, I thought it was delivered really well. Like if that was how he put it out in his interviews and his podcasts, well then, bro, that it pretty much delivered. You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, but I wouldn't have killed her after. Like, come on, like
I want a part 2, man.
Yeah, like because to me it did have like glimpse of Sister Act because I've heard that someone like said, just imagine like Sister Mary Clarence, but just the Pacifica version going out there, but she wasn't in hiding. She was actually just showcasing what she could do with a group, you know? I reckon it was rich of them to go and perform at the church though. Like, even though that was the church and the Faifel was like saying, when are you gonna come back, you know? And
who's that actor that played the Balangi 5L? Because he's on Shorten Street, eh?
Bro. He used to be on Shorten Street, yeah.
Matthew Chamberlain.
Yeah, bro, his son more like, get out of there. Remind me of the it's just as good as the Samoan Cowboys in the Australian accent, man.
Give that guy a Mackay title, man.
Yeah. I think, you know, before, when I knew this movie was coming out and when I knew what it was about, this was like weeks before I watched it. I thought it was going to be like another Sister Act movie, like Sister Act thing. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was good. But I want to give out some awards. So, man, let's start with the Dalium Award for Best Performance in this film. Who you think it was, Leti?
Oh, I reckon it's got to go to Anapela. Like, fuck. Because I've seen her. She was in a short film called The Market, where she plays
I remember The Market.
The mother to Seth. I think it's one of the Nafafi boys. But yeah, bro, like this I think this showed her her ability just to like as an acting coach, but also like the fact that it came natural to her, you know, her ability to fill in the white world almost, you know, like I thought like that. So she's pretty much just being herself. Hey, it almost feels like she's just being herself, but you can see that she's actually acting. No, I thought, bro, that your hands down, bro. That's the MVP for me, man.
Because you know what, how she acts is everybody has a auntie like that, or a sister like that, or cousin like that. Like the way she is, like she's a strong woman, tough, doesn't take any shit, you know, and just moves on, just moves on with it.
Yeah,
just gets on with it. Every family's got a family member like that. How about you, Eddie? Who gets your award?
Yeah, I have to go for Anna as well. Yeah, she feels like that older sister, or that not the black sheep of the family, but you know, that outspoken auntie, the one that you'll never mess with. I'll put her first. I think, she just outdoes the Pakele because the way he does the Samoan.
Sorry.
Because that Pakele, he comes a close second because we all know that there's that one priest that's not Samoan that tries his best and he eats the most sapsui at any gathering. Hey, after he gets his little envelope, so that he is, because I remember a few of the Irish priests, Father Michael, Father Matthias from Holy Cross Church. Man, they could eat island food, bro, and when they say the talofa and all that, man, that kind of reminded me of that. But nah, can't beat Anna's performance, man. She carried the film, to be honest. The film is awesome, but she just kind of like that cherry on top, the little pauses that she does when she's talking. It was perfect. Yeah, so yeah, my MVP goes to Anna as well, and honorable mention to the Pakele. Sick.
Man, I'm giving mine to Antonia Robinson there, who played Sophie. Man, those crying scenes she does, man. Fuck. I was thinking, man, don't know where she come from, like this actress, like doing some serious parts, man. Like some emotional parts. She's one doing most of the crying, Well, and I think because Anna's playing a character that we all know or familiar with, for me, acting, it would be so easy to bring that sort of person up for a lot of our women, because it's a natural thing, right? But acting wise, man, yeah, I think Sophie, because there's a pretty deep scenes, those crying scenes, and her facial expressions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I think because the older, like we're older, we understand trauma. I think that's why Antonia, she's up there, right? But sort of, if you asked me 10 years ago, I'll be like, so look at the funny you're in. So why are you complaining? But when you understand trauma and how it doesn't stop at any race, like everybody gets it. So, but I just want to know how she got the scars. Was it from the earthquake or? Because they never explained it,
Yeah.
A lot of broken storyline in the film that didn't delve into. Yeah, it's almost like okay, like when Beulah goes into A&E and then Sophie's got the anxiety over the pills, and then why the mum's always pissed off her why she taking them. It's like it's sort of like left up to your imagination to try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
or was it because because there wasn't the father there? Did he pass away? Like, was it the same sort of trauma? But I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, because I found that was kind of weak. When she wouldn't put on the love lover, like if it was like a skin problem, like when if it was about her skin problem she had, like she was burnt on that, like she showed it at the end of the film, but it was around her arm. But what's her legs got? Like if you're gonna wear ear, like just wear it over your jeans. The same thing, right? So I didn't understand that part, why she was so traumatized by that.
Oh, was there not ever a singlet as well? No. Did it have to do with a singlet as well? No?
She could wear like a shirt.
I assumed it was
long sleeve.
Yeah, so you're right. Some little plot holes there and stuff like that. Yeah, so I've got another award here, the Ruben Fawn Award, the weakest link. And the movie, who do you think it was, Eddie?
The weakest link? Oh, man.
I don't think your one's going to beat my honors, but go ahead.
I don't know, like, if there was a... Man, there's a lot, of the small characters that were the weakest link. But, I don't know, I'll go with the principal, or the one that was going to take over. What's his name? Jamie Irvine? He played Peter Wadsworth, whatever. So, like, racism in New Zealand is not, like, so in your face. The racism here is kind of like under the carpet. Like, it's not like Aussies where it's like straight in your face. So these guys were like straight, like, oh, we don't like people like you here. So you would never hear that. They're leaving themselves exposed to get sued. They'll just say little subtle things that not as blatant as that. But no, I'll go with him and is what was the uso that always stands behind him, the one that grabbed the student. I think them two, bro. They get half the award each. But yeah, that's my weakest link. How about you?
Mine goes to I don't know if you saw, but when they're practicing, when they're practicing, there's always the inkia. Did you see the inkia that's on choir. She's not at the church, okay? We say India, okay? And then you see her in the practice, the gestures, it's like, oh, there she is there. And then it comes to the final performance, oh, she's not there. So it's like, come on, man. I was like, they start trying to do diversity once, because they had the physical team and the singer, and then like, okay, then they go, oh, that is right. And they come to the performance at the church, oh, they must sing India. I'm like, wow. Bro, it goes to her, eh? I was like, man, if I went to school, I could muck her out. I'd like, see, how come they didn't choose like the main, like, I was like, that was sad, bro. Mickey's got to keep eating gears, bro, but that was like hot kind of fed eating gears. But that's what I keep noticing in the film.
Sure, man. I'll give my ribbon for an award to Jamie Irvine as well, who played Peter, the deputy principal.
Yeah.
But man, the thing about that character, I thought he was like too cartoonish. I thought he was like the wrong kind of direction for his character in this kind of movie. So, yeah, of course, he's an asshole. He's a dickhead. He's a bit ignorant. He's ignorant, he's a bit of a racist dude. Yeah. But I think they could have treated him as a serious person at the same time. Yeah. Like, for me, it was too cartoonish. If this was a straight out comedy, he would suit that part. His character would suit in a straight comedy. But yeah, I just thought that he needed to be there. A character like that needed to be in this film. But I don't think in that sort of way. Like, there's the other guy that's behind him, the board guy. He was more of a serious.
Yeah, he was more of a
bad guy.
Oh shit!
Evil bad guy. He to me he was the. I think if he was more like that, like a serious asshole. Then it would have hit more. Because I don't know why they made him. Because to me, the Jamie Irvine character was a bit comedic, like an idiot. But extreme version of an idiot. And
like I said, man, it's not like that in real life.
It's not like that in real life. Yeah, that's right. And it's sort of like, okay, I probably get it. We're saying all these types of people out there in the world, they're cartoonish idiots. Don't take them seriously because they're just knobs, they're like idiots. But, at the same time, a lot of these guys are serious guys, serious people, So, yeah, I just thought that was my little critique about that. Yeah. The Civil Reese Award for the most overacted scene by an actor. Have you got one, Let?
Yeah, we'll go to the first thing, Twitch. That guy. I feel malo wale guy. So keep that same energy when you slap your son in the school when Muerta's looking at you. It's like he dropped his nuts, eh? I was like, fuck that dude. Yeah, it'd be the first thing, Twitch, bro. For me.
Have we got one, Ed?
Man, that first 15 team is Makwaka, actually. they picked a fight with the choir, and the guy got checked out by Mei Ling. Nah, bro. You can't play, You can't play anymore. But yeah, one of the most unrealistic scenes is like getting beaten up by the choir. But, I'll go with that guy that got checked out by Mei Ling. No credit for that guy. How about you, Kev?
Probably who's the guy that mucked up the clap, the Palangi dude with the clap. I think there was one guy who mucked up the clap all the time.
Oh,
give it to him.
The chubby.
Yeah. Is any Sky Towers in this film? Now any Sky Towers. So Sky Towers. Anything in this film that was the best of the best.
Oh.
In history too, like say if you give the Sky Tower to Anapela, this is her best of her best out of everything she's done, So, but it can be anything. Can be for an actor. Can be for a scene. Can be for anything.
Yeah.
I'll start with you. Let's.
I'll give it to two scenes. Bro, when she was dead, G, like, fuck, I was crying, man. I was like, sorry, she looks dead. Like, she looked over embalmed on her neck, man. Like, that's what I saw when I saw her, like, play dead. Like, I thought, fuck, bro, that's gonna be Sky Tower, like, playing dead, G. Like, but then, one of the scenes that I didn't mention, like, I thought it was, like, and I think I said, like, because they didn't bring the subtitles up for it. But, the bit where she goes, when I think it was the assistant coach, like, says something like, oh, do you remember me? My dad, so-and-so. She goes, oh, send my regards to your dad. Yeah, and then she goes, "Oh, he already passed away."
Yeah.
But then after the incident that happens, and then she goes, "Why? Fight the guy there." That scene was like, I was like blown away. Like, oh shit! Like, bro, she's being real. Like, I felt like, bro, if you're a mum and you come into a space like that, and you see what's happening in front of you, and you can have that conversation with someone else in the room that no one else understands, that's as real as it gets. Like the fact that they didn't bring the subtitles up to put that on the screen for everyone to see, that would have made the movie Pacifica. You know what I mean? Just that one scene. And then the fact that, like, in the context of that situation, see, like, Jacopo obviously said, "Hey, they do it." Like, that registered, you know what I mean? I thought, yeah, just that bit of acting and that scene, I thought was like, "Oh, bro, that's gold, man."
Oh, I'm gonna talk to you guys about those scenes where they've chosen not to put the subtitles up, especially in some of the Samoan words that come up, like "ai there's no "eat shit" on the bottom comes up. And why do you guys think of that? Well, why do you think they've made decisions to show some words subtitle and so not? What I think is that, with the Samoan language and the English language, there's a big difference in, especially with swear words, there's levels to different swear words in the English language. There's many more swear words in the English language, and each of those swear words have different levels, right? In the Samoan language, there's not many. There's not as many. There might be 2 or 3, but they got different levels. What might be level 1 in Samoan language might be level 10 in the English language. So if you were to subtitle "eat shit," to us, like, hey, that's normal. Like, everyone says that, like a normal. That's like damn. But to Palangis, eat shit is like, I beg your pardon. Like, like it's real. It's a bad word. Eh? It's worse than anything else, right?
Goodness. Oh my golly aunt.
So if you were to put "eat shit" on the screen, when it's and Palangis looking at it, oh my gosh, is that how they talk to each other? Oh, but that was my thoughts about it. But some of the stuff when you get told off as a kid, like some of the things your parents say, shouldn't be repeated in English. It's like level 10. It's like level 10 to the Palangis, man.
That's sort of telling us that, like, in this day and age, bro, you could have had your kids taken from you for saying that in front of like some very notable people. You know what I mean? Like, and then they do it at like Fasa more stuff, in front of the ministers and that too. So
I think they just didn't want the white guys to learn.
Yeah, well, that's what I initially thought. Like, maybe funding reasons. But like the more scenes, kind of like, true that,
Because imagine if you're a white guy and you're watching a movie with your boys, and then you hear "ai kai" and it's "eat shit." You turn to your white "ai kai." They'll say it for the whole night. Like, and then they'll go to the island mates at work. They're like, "Hey, Sefo, "ai kai." No, man.
Yeah,
there's no subtitles.
There's different levels to it. And I was just thinking when I was watching it in my head, I was thinking, man, they should empty out the clip on those, man. Like, hey, man, if you say something, you gotta say it, man. No retracts, man. Stuff these Palangis, man. Say it with your chest. I got an award here it's the Michael Meredith Award for the best food in the movie. I remember there was food, but I can't remember what it was specifically, so I can't say. I'm sure there was food in there.
Trifle? Was it trifle?
Yeah, it was trifle.
Trifle,
It's when Beulah dropped off the food, eh? Yeah. Now, if it's gonna be food, it was when the Palangi girl walked up to Maretta and goes, "Do you guys like corned beef?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So that got me hard. Especially when she walked away. I was like, "Of course I like corned beef."
Yo, I like it. What's the score? Your favorite song or movie in the film? For me, it's the choir songs, man.
Yeah.
Just the church vibes all over again, man.
The melodies, the Samoan melodies near the end where they did the
Yeah, when you say melodies, it's funny because remember I just know it as Cece, Marita's mate from church. Hey, it's like how she goes. Eventually, she says something like, I gotta teach the kids. Like she was listening to their best in the classroom. She said something like, "What's wrong with Ole Tawalunga?" But if you watch at the end, that's the last songs that they sing. I started cracking up, bro. I was like, "Hey guys, like I thought, like, bro, that's their joke. Like, if you know, like, bro, that's why I thought, bro, Mickey had it good, bro. Especially when they did that Tawalunga bit. I was like, fucking, man, yeah. Like, I thought that was a good addition and how they sort of booked that up to the, like, right to the end.
Yeah. Throw it back or out. Does this movie stand the test of time?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Well, man, yeah.
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 Especially being based on a choir and how Mickey said it is based pretty much on the Westlake boys, you know? Yeah, bro. And it was even cool, like, that there's actual footage of the big sing and the Westlake choir performing, bro. Like, I thought that was good.
Yo.
You know?
When I think about it again, when I asked that question, is this a choir movie or a Pacifica movie? I think it depends what perspective you're looking at, right? If you're Balingi, of course it's a choir movie. But if you're Pacifica like us, when we see it, it will hit different because we can relate to a lot of things in this movie, and so it is to us a Pacifica movie. You know, so yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, I think we enjoy seeing other people embrace our culture, especially if they're non-Samoans.
Yeah.
Like I remember one of our videos on TikTok got massive love from the Māori community when we're advocating for them. So I think when you advocate or you try and learn and show respect to a culture, even though you're not part of that culture ethnically, it's huge, you know. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of Samoans took to it, because it's like the film shows an outside perspective looking into Samoan culture, you know, seeing both worlds. Yeah, I think that's why I don't really believe there was cultural appropriation or anything like that. It was more of a showing respect and understanding.
I think if someone did try to pick up on cultural appropriation, it would have been the Palangi girl wearing the ear at the end, if anything, because she was the only one dressed in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because that was given from the lady from the church, so it'd be different. You know, it's like a gift almost. Like a Cena given to the child who was probably the closest to the teacher. So and plus she pretty much made her. She's, I want you to be the lead singer.
Yeah.
You know, so she obviously got the green light for all that.
I think once she put the hair clip in her hair, all bets off. That was a hard scene too, where I was like,
Hard, eh?
Because I was looking at the wall. I was like,
I'll be honest, it was like, you know, that part where she was like, I gotta go, like, you know, something happened to my teacher, like, that's her going to the ward, and then when she says she's been waiting for you, and she's waiting, and when she realized that she's already okay, I'm like, oh fuck, man, like, what? Like, shit. Because obviously showed her putting the clip down there, like, wow, man. See, guys.
I think I was looking at.
Nah, I gazed across the seats because, like, I was on the widescreen cinema at Henderson. Bro, there was not a dry eye in the cinema, man, and I could even hear the people behind me sniffing, and then I heard the car fire. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
like that shit felt real, man. But yeah, bro, that solid that clip, eh?
I was happy my theater was packed there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't jam packed, but it was a lot of people there, a lot of families there, and man, it was cool to see. Because man, I love it when I go to the movies and it's packed. Because I love sharing the experience with the audience. You know, I love that, and you know, we don't hardly get that anymore with streaming and Netflix, and everyone's watching movies at home. No one's hardly going to the movies after COVID and all that, and I just miss it when it's packed there and going to the movies. So that was good to hear all the reactions. And there was that scene when the student, when that fight scene in the hallway, and the students calls her a black bitch. Like, man, the whole movie theater like gasped. Everybody.
Yo, my mom was the same.
Oh my gosh! Like everybody. Wow.
What about
everybody was shocked at that.
What about when I heard that bit? I heard it. Okay. I heard like guy, then I heard someone like say, "What might be?" I'm like, sorry. It's only a movie, man. It's only a movie. But well put, you know. Like, so I think Eliotto says something like in his podcast, like, "Oh, no, it made it look like we take shit from white people." I'm like, "Nah, man, the people in the cinema I was in, they're like, yeah, guy, you know."
Loose ends. Did you guys find any loose ends in this movie?
I think the
we mentioned that before.
How Sophie got her injuries.
Yeah.
Why she was taking the medicine. Why the mum was drinking a lot.
I think they all do. There's everyone that lives in
anyone that's got a marble island that's like bigger than your dining table, like a 4-meter island in the middle of the kitchen. They drink because they're like fucking worried about no one's gonna put a crack in it. Yeah, I thought it was smart because you know how Beulah said to her, down at the community center we have this counseling, you should come down, and how she keep revisiting it, like, you know, she got as far as asking, and then she went as far as standing outside the doors, then looking through, then she walked through, didn't go in, and then she ended up introducing herself. Like, I thought, oh, okay, so what's the purpose of that? Like, how did that connect to like their Beulah and her? Because it doesn't really explain anything. But then when he ends up in hospital, and then you're wondering like, oh fuck, like what was the whole purpose of all of that anyway? But then I thought, oh, maybe that was Beulah's way of telling her, I need you. You know, because you're not right. I need you, you know. But and it's like, oh, it was too little, too late, sort of thing. I thought like, oh, okay, that's the way I thought that scene was probably trying to connect this way in the movie, but then it did leave you wondering, like, you know, like, oh, okay, so you're not really sure. It's like a loose end, I thought.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. Those were loose ends. They're small ones, but it'd be good to know, just the background, maybe, of those things. Speaking about Sophie, like, you know, at the end when she shows up in her outfit and she's singing, I was thinking, man, she looks exactly like a Hafakasi.
Yeah.
Yo, 100.
Because of black hair, you know, like. I've got this category called the Shoreline Street treatment. I swap out any of these actors for New Zealand actors, but seeing this is a New Zealand film, would you swap any of these actors with any American actors? Would you swap?
Damn, I don't know.
I'd probably say nah. I don't think so. I think just the way, because of the setting too. Like, New Zealand accents are hard to duplicate, especially because it's based in Christchurch. They got the Asian, you know, we got the Asian and the Inkia. Like, even the Inkia didn't say anything, but just to hear the Kiwi accent from a Chinese, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like someone from the States trying to do a New Zealand, like, you hear like what's the fastest Indian? Like, you see that guy trying, you know? It's like, come on, it's like you're killing me. So nah, I couldn't see that happening. I couldn't see an American trying to play Beulah, like, or any of the main actors. It's like, nah, that's a no thanks for me.
Replace Beulah with The Rock. Ow. Ow. Hey.
So didn't we like, oh wait, he's better off in the Bakele.
Sorry. Nah, I agree. I don't think, because it was a local film, I don't think an American could bring weight into it. Maybe the principal, if you could swap him with an American, because the way he looked at the school was through like a white lens. So maybe an American, like, having a principal from abroad who doesn't understand the culture will be more suited for that role, I'd say. And who, I don't know. You can throw any actor there, really. You know, to play that American role that doesn't understand the culture. So that's the only guy I'll swap out. But everyone else was perfect. Yeah. Even the first 15 dudes, you know, you watch New Zealand films and the first 15 dudes always try and act the city, you know, tough, blah, blah. But, you know, to see the first 15 guy turn up there straight away to the choir, I was like, yo, that's different, you know. They didn't do that whole different angle on it. So, no, they all played really well. Yeah, that's probably the only one I'll probably swap out, is the principal. Yeah. Just so it would have made sense a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying if you guys maybe keep the surviving actors as themselves, but maybe you can swap. You can play around with the Balangi actors, the Balangi characters in this film.
Yeah.
Like the first 15 guy, I'll probably swap him out with William Zepka. He plays Johnny Lawrence on Karate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a first 15 rich school, white school thing. The next category I got here is Stephen Crichton intercept. So that's referring to intercepting or taking any prop from the film. You'll take home and put on your shelf as a souvenir. Anything in the movie, start with you, let's.
Probably nothing else. Nothing. But they said mirrors like in there with Tiki, man. Yeah, nothing screams out. Maybe one of the computer chairs. Maybe one of the computer chairs, just so I can have a nice chair to sit on for empty on the club. One in Bueller's office or one in the Rita sits in the classroom.
Nice. That's something. Anything you see in the movie you want to take home as a souvenir. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah.
Damn.
You got one, Eddie?
Well, if we're going with stuff, then probably one of the kids' laptops. Yeah, as a souvenir.
Anything
because
in the movie.
it's an item that everyone has. You know the hair clip. Because in that movie, the hair clip was so symbolic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Anything in the movie.
Yeah,
it can be anything.
I'll have the hair clip on the wall.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have any stuff around it. Like that would be a point of conversation. They're like, hey, sorry, there's a hair clip on your wall. Sorry, have you seen the movie?
Exactly.
Let me tell you a story about this hair clip.
So you can get your local pub or your rugby club, right, and put that clip there, and I'll have the computer chair there. And every person says, "You know where that chair's from?" When you start with the hair clip, you go, "Oh no, you give up, man. They haven't seen it. They haven't seen it."
No, just the hair clip.
Yeah, that's a good one. If it wasn't the hair clip, I'll take the piano. I'll take the piano that she was helping Sophie with in the beginning. Yeah.
Damn. Oh, am I surrounded by thieves? Sorry. Got a chair and a piano. Sorry.
And probably the astronaut outfit that dude was trying on when she was trying to get them clothes.
Op shop.
Yeah, the op shop. The last category I got here is the Lincoln Hawk life lessons. So Lincoln Hawk on Over the Top. He's got some life lessons for his son in that movie. What are your life lessons you take from this movie? This is a deep question. How have you, Let's?
I think a life lesson taken from the film, and it's crack up that you mentioned the piano, was from that scene from the piano where she hears her playing it. Because when I first heard it, because I love Crowded House, bro. Like, as soon as I heard the intro and the verse, bro, like just the piano being played by Sophie, then I was like, fuck. Bro. And then my girls, like, they were both like looking at me like, oh, the song, you know? But I thought like that moment, bro, that's like that shows like even though it's just an instrument, the music's the connection. Because you actually see in that moment like Samoan lady, Palangi kid, but the music, it's the life. It's just what the beauty that the music can do for so many people. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's nice. What I took out of it, bro.
Yeah,
it'll be similar to Leti, but it's more or less about time. Like time is an investment. Like time is more valuable than money. How you invest your time with what you have left. Because when she passed away, like a lot of she couldn't teach anymore. Basically, she's gone. But the time she spent with those students, when she talked about the va, the space between us, like it's time. Space is time. So when she spoke about the va and breathe and put your hand on the stomach, respect the va. I think what she's talking about is like the time you have is precious, basically, and she proved that on the movie by passing away. So I think the lesson to be learned is like invest your time wisely.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good one, and that's probably some of the lessons that I got out of the movie, the time thing, and like what happens when you realize you have not a lot of time left on this earth when you get the message from the doctor, eh? Like, what do you do if your doctor says you got 2 months? Well, what do you do? And I think what I learned from this film was you gotta do what makes you happy. Do everything for those last months that you've learned over your whole life. Just actually put into action like all the learnings you've done, because you know she's good at what she's doing. Like she's obviously, you know, she's a teacher. She knows about singing choir stuff. You know, she teaches at the church. Teaching is her superpower, right? And she sort of stopped doing it when her daughter died. And then with this new job, this sort of brings her a new life in the last part of her life. You know, so and she goes hard out, tries to get these kids where they want to be, but also she's doing her last thing on this earth, like that she knows. You know, and we don't get that moral until the end when she passes away. We don't get it. We speculate what's going on, like what is this for? Like who is this for? And now we know at the end it's really for her, because you know her daughter's passed away. All she wants to do is be with her daughter. That's why she was by herself at home, and that's why she got pushed to get a job. She didn't want to do anything. All she wanted to do was to live out her life, doing nothing and being with her daughter at the end of it. So I think what this movie taught me is that no matter what happens in your life, like you gotta live it to the fullest. Yeah. You gotta do what you know that you're good at. You gotta do what you love, and to your last breath, man. Like don't give up, man. Like yeah. So in a way, to me, that's the power of the story. This is the essence of the story. And this is a story that could relate to everybody in the world, you know? And that's the powerful thing about this film, for me anyway. Yeah.
100%, man.
Shop boys. That's, man, I'm using all these categories from my other podcast, our movie podcast, but like doing that just made me think, man, we should be doing this other podcast again. Because I miss it. I want to do these categories again. But yeah, these categories are from our Late Returns Film Review podcast. That's where we review old school movie.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, Oos.
Yeah, because I think when I did these categories, I was trying to make you think about all these aspects of the film. Yeah. So yeah, now we should do it again. I should really start the Late Returns Film Review again. Thanks, boys, for jumping on.
Thank you very.
It's good to have you guys. Good to have you guys on the Cam Schuster podcast.
Thanks for having us, Oos.
Yeah, man. See you guys on Empty Out the Clip. Yeah, another episode tomorrow. We got any topics? We don't have any topics today. We better put them up at the chat. Or we have on the Facebook page, huh?
Yeah.
Wait for the boss man, Leti. Check out some topics.
Swamping. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. See you guys on Empty Out the Clip. Have a good night.
Go
to the Broncos.
Up the Broncos.
My boys, fat.